looks like I'm live. Is anybody out there? I'm just gonna doodle a little bit while we wait, find out if anybody shows up. I don't know. It's not like I advertised this for much more than a couple hours, but yeah, I think it should be all right. All right. I hope you can see that. Should be doing all right. Yeah, so this is going to be a coloring book, I think. Sometimes I just like to doodle and whatever comes of it. I just got finished this toilet. I don't know what kind of toilet that is. It's a strange one, but it's a toilet nonetheless. I think it reads as one. And well, I'll just give you a little tour. There is sort of an upside down dog here. And he's got a big tongue. Here, let me just turn him upside right. Right side up? Right side up. Here he is. Do you see him? You kind of gotta look into it. You gotta look into it. There he is. Then you got this dude. Oh, he looks like he's got a bit of tear in his eye. Maybe it's because this weird, grotesque pimple thing coming out of his nose. Some sort of, what is this? A hedgehog, armadillo, armored car with a satellite. Oh, see this guy with the big nose and the tear? I also kind of made it look like he's got a headphone on. Out of the satellite dish that's on the back of this car. So it's kind of a double image there. He looks angry, and this poor guy looks like he's a little bit protective. I think he's got some sort of cereal that he's gotten, a gigantic spoon. I thought that was pretty funny. Here's some sort of weird, look, I don't know what all these things are. Honestly, I don't. But they're just fun images that I drew. This one's clearly a bear. I think it reads as a bear. Here we've got some sort of disgusting mermaid type creature. Not very attractive at all. A horse mixed with an anteater. I don't know what a horse looks like or an anteater looks like. No, I shouldn't say I don't know what they look like. I just don't know how to draw them. And I wasn't really using references in these pictures. Here's a little dude. He looks quite smug. This is perhaps a pregnant Tyrannosaurus Rex. I don't know. Kind of like the way this guy's shoes turned out. If you know me at all, I usually draw bare feet. Today I actually put shoes on this dude. What is this guy doing? I don't even know what is he eating something? Maybe. Here's a squirrel. He's licking himself. Maybe. I'm not responsible for everything I draw. And I don't even know what this is. Some sort of weird rattler, sucker, leech type thingy. It's gross. Maybe he swallowed something because look at all these lumps. Or he's muscular. Who knows? This is some sort of chicken creature. I don't know. Here's a tree. This guy, I don't even know what he is, but he's got a very textured tongue. Here's another sad guy. And half-baked turkey. This poor guy's just getting squished. He's just in the middle of it all, isn't he? There's a saddle. There's some sort of starfish dude. He looks like he's sucking the end of this weird coral dude. Sure. And this guy here, he's like opening his mouth to chomp something. And this was the first thing I drew on this page. Right there. I don't even know what he is, but he's my favorite on the entire page. He is hilarious. Kind of like some sort of weird octopusy thing. You know, a lot of these, not all of them, but quite a few of them have a marine sort of concept to them, don't they? Anyways, I was going to start drawing them, but it looks like we're at 1 o'clock already, so, and who wants to really wait? So, without further ado, you'll see above my head, I have the alphabet mostly. I'll show you quickly what they look like. Some of them have changed since the alphabet shorts that I posted in my Halloween alphabet series. I don't know why that's so hard to say. Oh, I said series. I didn't say. Anyways, here's my stickers. Favorites that stand out to me, letter F. Also very popular in the shorts. Letter K, love that one. So simple, hey? It's just, it's very geometrical. It's a house. Kind of like this dude. I mean, I kind of like them all. Oh, yeah, this dude. Love that. Pumpkin puking makes a Q. Why wouldn't it? R is mysterious. What is he holding? We've not answered that. This I thought when I started it, because I thought I need a banner somewhere in here that says Happy Halloween, but I thought it would just be terrible once I started it, and then I ended up liking it. I think I just like the textures and stuff that I added to it. And when you add it to the complete series, it looks like you need something in here that says Happy Halloween. Your Screamin' inspired O. That turned out pretty good. No references used. Mm-hmm. I don't really know the anatomy of a bat, but I think I got it kind of right. W, Skeleton Dance, if you know that. Old Disney, what is it, 1920s, 1930s? Love it. Longtime favorite. These two I drew live on Twitch. Now I'm on YouTube, but these two I drew live on Twitch. And if you didn't see them, I have the shorts. No, it's a long format video. You can find it on my channel. So X was going to be skull and crossbones, but the bones were so giant and the skull was so small, it looked stupid. So I redrew it live and turned it into a werewolf. Probably the first werewolf I've ever drawn. It looked great. Not the first zombie I ever drew, but love him anyways. He's hilarious. He looks almost like he'd belong on a Simpsons episode. So today we're doing C. C is in another file. C is over here. Z. Z. Did I say C? Z or Z, depending on where you're from. Now, I have, just due to time format, because I might get called away at some point, I want to make sure I get this finished live. So I sketched this out already a little bit. If you've been following my series, there's a few creatures here that never really came to light in the Halloween series. And that was a mummy, a witch, a clown, and there was a little spider, but not much of one. So I thought I would do that. And these were all like popular demands. People asking to have these made. So here we are, and I decided to include them all in this last fabulous letter of the alphabet. And let's see here. So I am using Adobe Fresco. Adobe Fresco is my favorite. It uses vectors, which I use for inking. This layer here will get hidden at some point. But for now, we're going to draw on it. I like to use a vector brush with taper. As such, let's just have a look at. The ends get nice and sharp, and the middle gets nice and thick. I can make it even thicker and thinner, depending on what I'm trying to draw. It gives lines depth and value and character when they have that sort of ability to move around. So the mummy is outstretched. I fit this all in. I should have just drawn this live too, because this just came together like no problem. But anyways, let's just get started here. We got the nose of the witch. Now, if you can't really see my sketch very well, don't worry, because it's all getting filled in. So you can see this, how this taper line looks. Love it. So in real life, when I'm drawing, I don't know if you could see this. Is this what YouTubers and TikTokers do? They hide their face, you can see. I don't even know how to line. Yeah, this is an ink brush. This is an ink brush that I use. And so when I'm doing actual inking, I use a brush. I don't usually use a pen, so I get that taper effect. And that's what does it for me on Fresco. It behaves about as close as I can get to my real life inking. Real life inking, hey, I haven't done much in a while because I'm just so obsessed with my tablet. I will say, other than live drawing events. I did a live Halloween drawing event where there was a bunch of kids and they were dressed up mostly as zombies because it was a zombie walk. And I was hired by the city to draw them. Yeah, I was hired by the city, leave that, to draw. That was a pretty cool gig. What am I doing here? Trying to be subtle. I'm not very subtle. Okay. Anyway, so I was hired by the city to draw kids. And it was a pretty good gig. I really liked it. Well, there we go. That's too big. But anyways, that works. All right, let's back to inking here. That sort of occupied my time. You're probably thinking like, Halloween? Isn't that over? And it is. I mean, yeah. When are you watching this? You're probably watching this down the road, tomorrow, the next day. Who knows? Either way, while I'm showing this live, it is not Halloween. I had a busy Halloween. I had a good Halloween. And didn't get a chance to finish my alphabet. Does it really matter? Like, Halloween themed characters can be year round because they are just cool. I've always been sort of obsessed with Halloween. All the coolest characters come out during Halloween. Sorry, I got a bit of the sniffles here. I was outside. And, well, it's cold here. I live in northern Canada. I may someday fix that problem. But for now, this is where I'm at. Oh yeah, so we're gonna do something here. I don't always draw everything faithfully from my pencils, because not everything in my pencils is perfect. And sometimes when I'm drawing my inks, I see something new, and I go after it. Now you might see how thick my lines are, hey? And they can get very thick, but there's a reason for that. These are going to be stickers, and a sticker's only, what, 3 inches on average or so? And so I've decided I have a minimum pen size that still looks nice and very graphic on a 3-inch sticker, but it also doesn't always leave a ton of room for detail. And that's just fine by me. These are not meant to be high detail images. They're very simple, very readable from a distance, and look cool, look fun on a binder or on an iPad or anywhere else you'd have a sticker. I mean, where do you put your stickers? I put mine on my iPad case, on my laptop. I don't really have a lot of places to put stickers though. I don't go to school, if you can believe it or not. Person doesn't always go to school, believe it or not. It's been a long time. Oh yeah, so this is one of those things, right? Do I change it? That looked cool. So here's a witch. Let's give her a big wart on her nose. Oops. There we go. Not that I believe real witches have warts. That's just a weird sort of thing, hey? That we've decided that witches have warts. There we go. Does that read as a witch? Hold on. I'm just gonna sort of trim this down a little bit. And fill this in. And then we'll get started on that mummy that you see there. Can you see it? I don't know. There's a mummy. I'll play with it a little bit, make him look good. And then we'll get on to the clown by popular request. I've missed that entirely in my alphabet. And spider, which I've barely touched on. So this will make 4 distinct people happy that I've done this. Now this is a weird mummy. Do we like him? Why is his head so wide? Maybe we need to think about this character a little bit before I finish him in. See, I'm just trying to mash these characters together. So I'm going to go with a hand here. Get it in. There we go. Just give me a chance to fix that. It'll make sense. It'll make sense. You just got to trust the process. I've said that before. All right, we're going to give this guy band-aids across his entire arm here. Whoops. We'll go back in and do the band-aids in a minute. I like to do definition. Not that I'm trying to make this mummy particularly muscular, but I just like drawing definition. So that's the way he comes out. He's a bit musculacious. Well, do you know what? We see this little hand. He's like kind of waving. I'm going to increase the size of that hand a little bit. And this is how I'm going to do it. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to open this up here. I'm going to add another layer. I'm going to make this one faint. This is just, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a new hand over top of this one here. Whoops. This one here. I'm going to draw a new hand over top of it, and then I'm going to fix it so that they both work. Therefore, this hand here will be able to move this way a little bit, making his head, hopefully, more normal size. So there, I've got an underdrawing already, and I'm kind of glad I did, but I've also got I've got lots of room to make some changes. So this hand is a right hand. Yeah, I've got to look at my own hand sometimes. And so, again, this is trusting the process. Because you can't always see what's in my imagination. But I can. There we go. So then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to fix this part. Watch this. This is how it works. Bring this back up. New hand. And it sort of just fits right into this witch's hat. Maybe this mummy doesn't like this witch. Maybe he's gonna be a bit of a jerk or something. I don't know. Let's go back to this layer. Oops. Okay, so I'm just gonna move this hand. I'm gonna move this hand over. Oh, maybe he's a kung fu mummy. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Or karate mummy. You guys ever watch that Cobra Kai? Cheesy show, but I loved it. Probably because it was contemporary for me as a kid. It was one of the movies I went to see as a kid live, and I didn't want to go see it in the movie theater. I was hoping to actually watch Gremlins that year, and my uncle took me to see Gremlins, which I was so thrilled about because it was rated R, but you could go accompanied by an adult, and my parents would have never taken me. Not to see a horror flick. Have you ever seen Gremlins? It's like a comedy. But anyways, and also I've seen it, and it's somewhat forgettable. But Karate Kid, the movie, was in, and I was just miserable. Like, I don't want to see this. Let's just wait till the next Gremlins comes on. And my uncle's like, "Nah, I don't got all day to like sit around a theater with you, kid," which was insulting, I thought. But at this age, I wouldn't have done it either. So, anyways, short story long, I had to go go see Karate Kid. Ended up being one of my top. It's one of my top 3 favorite movies of all time. You know, I don't know if it's the top 3 movie in the world for anybody else, but the reason I think I like it is because sometimes when you see a certain movie at a certain time in your life, it speaks to you. And that movie spoke to me. Because I was a skinny little thing, a bit of an underdog, and a little bit picked. We moved around a lot. I can't even tell you how many times I've moved in my life. And so I was always making new friends and enemies. Yeah. Can't say I didn't deserve them all. I did. That's the truth. But anyways, just gotta figure out which way these band-aids are going, hey? Moved around a lot. Karate Kid was he moved at a pivotal time in his age, and that was so then I felt a sort of kinship to that. Just making these hands sort of look like they're got some shape to them. Anyway, so I felt like maybe if he could make friends and be kick-ass and all that other stuff, that I could be too. So I set out to learn karate on my own, because there wasn't a karate dojo in our small town. But you know what? Shortly thereafter, I graduated to learning ninjutsu on my own. I used a scarf and toque around my face to make a ninja mask. Very colorful ninja mask. That didn't seem to stop me. There's a mummy. And here's what we'll do. We'll go. We're going to cut into him. Another thing you'll find on my channel, if you watch my channel. Oh yeah, he's got glowing eyes. That's cool. But hold on. I like ninjas. I do like ninjas. To this day, I like ninjas. This day, I want to be a ninja. Remember, my mom said, "You want to be a ninja? You know what a ninja is? It's somebody who's paid to kill people. He's a hired assassin. Do you want to be a hired assassin?" That's a job? Like, yeah. No, I didn't understand what that really meant, but it sounded cool, didn't it? She just made it sound cooler. There he goes. He's got teeth. Oh, is that Readable's teeth? Yeah, sure, why not? We'll just close this up a little bit. Oops. There we go. Maybe we'll make him a little bit more. Ooh. Angry. All right, there's a mummy. We're gonna color him, so he'll look more like a mummy once he's colored. All right, we've got the mummy, we've got the witch, and we're going to work in Yeah, we're going to work into this clown now. It's got a big bulbous clown nose. Why a clown? Clowns are terrifying. Are they? I don't have a clown phobia. I've got more like a spider phobia, so we'll tackle that one next. But I will say that clowns can seem pretty scary, especially those old-timey clowns. I didn't use any references in this clown, like openly, but I do have references in my head of what a clown should look like. This is kind of what I'm thinking. Oops. I like to clean things up as I go, otherwise I tend to forget. And of course he's got to have his clown hat. Let's be a little more careful about that. There we go. That looks like a clown hang. Just give him a little bit of an ear here. And oh, well, we've got an opportunity to give him more hair. So his hair is blending with the witch's. Oh, maybe he's got some crazy hair. I don't know. There's no reason why he wouldn't. Sure. All right. Frilly collar. Seems like another staple that a good or terrifying clown should have. Are there good clowns? That I wouldn't know. All right. Well, a lot of this guy is going to be also hidden by spider. So I don't need to get too involved with that hidden arm. He's probably hiding something. Wouldn't you expect it? No bare feet in this episode. Right? Yeah, no bare feet in this episode. Was not a change. All right. Here we go. Mummy, witch, clown, and now spider. Whoa. Also, never use any references in the drawing of this spider. I'm aware of the fact that they have 8 legs. These pincers, mandibles, whatever we call them, I don't even know. And multiple eyes. How many eyes, I don't know. But this is a small sticker and there's only room enough for how many eyes. So that's what we're doing. Cold, dead eyes. Naturally, as a friend of mine would say. And then when we're done, we're going to go back and we're going to draw a frame around this entire thing. Around this entire letter, and then color it in. Hey, don't worry about all these overlapping lines. They get fixed. as such. Hold on, see, we gotta just untangle the spider here. Oops, there's his legs. Too far. There we go, there we go. And when we color it in, it'll make a lot more sense. Yes. I purposely use the taper portions of my brush for certain things, especially for overlapping parts. See how it's skinny here? Whoops. That way the joints don't start to look too cluttered. All right. Right, I remember this same spider that I drew on the skull had just these very simple lines on it. I felt like it kind of gave it a spidery texture. You know, fuzzy spidery texture. Now again, gotta go in here, clean this up. All right, so I'm not drawing anything in this spot, this spot, this spot. I'm gonna leave them open because too much detail at this level becomes cumbersome. We can already tell, like, perhaps there was too much detail in this mummy. I might go back and clean him up a bit. Where's his, I know a lot of this is gonna get erased. I like to start with the base. Okay. All right, some of this is coming out. Yeah, there we go. That's right. Good enough. Oops. That's a lot of legs to draw in such a small space. But I didn't want them to look like a, you know, like an ant or something, so I had to draw more legs. Now we'll just tuck that one back. And then we'll just make, so we've got 4 legs on that side. We can assume this one has 4 legs. By doing this. Oh. Okay. I guess I should just go right into this corner here because there's an outline there. What am I going to do with that leg? I'm going to cut it back here. What do we think of that? Sure, I mean, when you're looking at the piece as a whole, do you really need to pick it apart like that? When you're drawing it, you tend to, but, you know, ooh, what did I do? Oh boy, right. We're not changing that. Okay. We'll just merge this layer down so I can color. Turn off my pencils. I'm gonna pull up my palette for y'all. Boom, there's my palette. And this is how I color all of mine, because this way we have very consistent set, such as the ones that we see above my head. Oh, I suppose I should probably draw an outline first. This outline is going to be a 20-point brush. The thickest that I use for this project. It's on a different layer, so I can't, oops. I have to have the proper layer selected, there we go. Oh, geez, okay, there we go. Don't worry, it's not going to overlap these images. It looks like it's cutting into them, but it won't. Rather, the color, when I'm putting it in, oops, let's just fix that up here. When I fill in the color, it will cut into the outline. The inside of the outline. Does that make sense? The inside of the outline? It will when I'm done. Again, trust the process. So for now, I'm just going to turn this layer off so that we're not impeded by it. And then I'm going to, oh, let me just turn those guys back on. There we go. Nope, where'd they go? There they are, okay. Go back in here, I've got a color layer selected now. Mummy is going to be white. I'll just do a quick run over here. I will, I'll clean it up in a second. No need to be careful yet. Okay, so I'm just going to fill this in here. There we go. Just going to clean up the edges. Make sure I'm getting inside the lines there. Yep. There we go. Moment. Okay, so then let's look at this outline here. See that? The color cuts into the outline. Ta-da! Okay, now, so he's gonna have glowing orange arms, or eyes, arms. We've got this color here. Nice. We're going to go back and give these guys all highlights and shadows as well, but first we just got to get them in. This is our basic color level. We're going to give the witch a green face. Again, we talked about this. Witches have warts and green faces. Why? We don't know. Doesn't seem very fair to the witches. But this is a Halloween witch. That's different. There we go. Oops. Okay. Fill her in. There we go. Clean that up. So then we'll give her a purple hat. We'll make it a light purple so I can give it dark shadows, dark purple shadows. Let's just go in here and just color the entire hair. All right, I've got this thing on. I'm just gonna turn it off for now, it distracts me. what color of hair? We will give her orange hair. We'll give her dark orange hair so that we can give it light orange highlights. I like to plan these things out. A very limited color palette, so you don't really get a lot of choices. But therein lies the fun. Make everything work within that palette. Yeah, we'll give her orange eyes too. Yeah, look at that. Careful. Fun. So this dude's gonna have a white face. Is that part of the creep factor? They have white faces painted so like dramatically white? Okay. And so we're gonna have consistency with that spider. Where did that spider go? The last time I drew a spider was on this guy's head. It was dark purple with light purple legs and light orange legs. So I'm going to draw him that color, and then I'll decide what I'm doing with the clown. Okay. Got my dark purple selected. What did I color his eyes? Do you see that? Probably orange or something. Should have looked. All right, don't have to be precious here. Maybe I can draw this color background here. Because it's all body. So what happens when I fill this in? I get what I want. Then I used a light purple for his legs. So I'll probably use a lot of orange in this clown. That's what I'm thinking. So I want the characters to contrast from each other. Be very obviously different characters. Oh, let's just quickly look back here. What did I say? Letter P. Letter P had, yeah, he had, oh, he didn't use, he had light purple eyes with white highlights. That is acceptable. Okay. Let's just put those in then. Man, is it stormy out today? Not storming, but like windy. Like a windstorm. Is that a thing? Windstorm? Is it sunny? This seems to be the thing that fall does around here. Turns cold and windy. I'll just fix that with this. There we go. So then the rest of him is going to be light orange. Spiders don't have to have bright colors to scare me, but it does help. I'm just going to switch brushes here. All right. There we go. Well, he's coming along. Back to my other brush. Okay, so we have a spider, we have a witch, and we have a mummy. This letter Z is going to be busy, but this is my way of cramming in all those things that I missed. So I was thinking that you have orange hair, but the witch has orange hair. What if you had purple hair, light purple hair because his outfit is orange. Perhaps we're going to use a dark orange for his pants. Yeah, it gives us lots of contrast. There we go. Nice. So then we'll give him light orange collar. Okay, and then we'll give him perhaps a light green shirt. We haven't used green on this guy yet. Seems like a weird choice, but like I said, I'm using a limited palette, and there's only so many options I have. And I do want the characters to, I'll just color right over these buttons and then figure out what I'm doing with them later. Hopefully. Don't want to forget. So, I'm going to go in light purple here, because that's the, oops, that's the leg. Right. And then maybe a dark purple line to just do this or this. Oops. I gotta fix that. I gotta go to a different layer to draw that. Suppose that might not make sense to you, but I know it. If I'm on the wrong layer, things just don't work out. I've got a bit of a squeak developed in my desk. I made this desk. I bought the frame, but I put everything on it myself. And I painted it. And you can see that on another video if you want to take a look. That was fun to do. Maybe we'll give him dark green shoes. This is a weird clown. We can always change this. If I go back and look and go, oh, I don't like this anymore, I'm going to change it. For now, I'm just throwing in what I have and deciding as I go. This is a kind of a cool clown, actually. I think I do like this. That was a suspender, not a leg. There we go. Now we know. So then his hair, I don't want it orange. Might not want it green. Do I want it purple? Yes, I do. I want it dark purple. That way we got some contrast with the witch above. We tell the difference between their hair, even though it seems to sort of meld together. Okay, we can give this guy a nose, will be dark orange nose. Yeah, of course it is. There we go. All right, all right. Then we are not going to go green on his hat at all, so we'll use the two oranges. We'll go with the light orange first. And then dark orange for the, no, we're going to use white. Be careful what I'm doing here. There we go. My wife works across from me usually, except for today, is often got everything set up. So there's always something close by, like a Kleenex box to use. right? So I was going to use the dark purple for her hat, I think. That ribbon. This is a ribbon. Do hats always have ribbons on the brim? Is it the brim? Is that the stalk? I don't even know. Okay, so then I can turn this on and fill it in. Bam. We're gonna give him light purple hair, but I'm kind of digging this. Use the right layer. Here we go. Yeah, yeah. Okay. There seems to be some sort of anomaly here. Okay, I could probably turn off my color layer. Half a sip of water. Oh, here it is. See that? No, I can't drink and draw at the same time. If I would, I would. Could if I would. Okay, all right. So, okay, so we're gonna give him some highlights. We're almost done. We're almost done. So for the mummy, we're gonna go back in and there's, oops, that's weird. We're gonna give him some light purple highlights. Shadows, light purple shadows. Hey, oh, Sour Camera 4, you still here? I'm in the car, so I can't watch. But I'll be back in a few. No worries, man. That's cool. Yeah, sort of impromptu. Sorry about that. But these things happen. I just found I had some extra time today. So this is what happens. I get busy doing something, and I thought, wouldn't it be fun to just start drawing live today to finish off this poor belated letter series. All right, whoops. Here he's starting to look like a mummy. There we go. All right, let's see here. So we've got the mummy, some shadows. We can give him some highlights too. You're thinking like, well, what kind of highlights would I give? But like, hold please. I'm going to give him dark orange eyes. We're going to give him light orange highlights. Because maybe, I'll just give him one there. Because maybe he's lit by a torch of an explorer. This is sort of a compilation drawing. I'm not saying that there's a witch and a mummy and a clown and a spider in a room together. If it was, that would be a joke, wouldn't it? Some sort of funny joke. All right, I got that idea. Let me show you. From the Skeleton Dance, which is number W, letter W. I gave him bright orange for the highlight, and it worked quite well. It looked cool. So let's give the witch some highlights and shadows. We'll give her white highlights on her hat. That's the brim of the hat. Too big. All right, we'll just leave it like that. And this is the top of her hat, nice and bright. Then we go in with the light purple and put that in. See how that works? Maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah, that works. Then I go back in with the dark purple. Sort of give her that shadow under the brim. So then would I just go back and let's just see how this looks. Yeah. So then I will just go in here and just do a more subdued sort of highlight. There we go. Well, that's what we think of that. Okay, so then I have a darker green that I can use for shadow. We will do that, well, we'll give her a shadow right across here because the brim of the hat is doing that. And we can give her some shadows around the eyes. That's natural. And under the nose. Yeah, it's starting to look like a witch. Yeah, here we go. Cool. We'll give her some highlights in her hair. We'll just do some over here. There we go. Cute. There's a cute witch. Cute, ugly witch. I'm just going to experiment here for a second with the brim. The brim is kind of awkward on this character because it had to sort of fit in between her and the mummy. Yeah, that works. I'll keep it like that. So then we will go in with this character. We'll give him a bit of a bright shine on his nose. Just right here. Yeah. We'll give the hat some shading along here. Oops. All right. And the head, oops, the head will cast a shadow here. Of course. We're gonna leave the clothes alone, otherwise, I'll be a little more subtle with this shadow here. Got another pen for that. There we go. And then we'll give some highlight in the pants. Let's see what this gives us. Sometimes highlights and shadows are just abstract shapes until you fill them in. And it looks like he's got brighter pants. Yeah, that works. All right. And then we're going to give the spider some highlights. So I've got these highlights all on a different layer here. See how doesn't that just change everything? And this spider, oh my goodness, this spider. What did I do again with the last one? That was you? P was P. Oh, he was very simple. We didn't really give him highlights except for his eyes. Maybe we need to do a little bit more for this guy. All right. go in with some whites. There we go. That makes the eyes look shiny. We can go in with, what else do we need to do here? We can go in with some light purples. We'll use my taper brush so that we can kind of keep it furry. So there'll be a highlight here, there, there. Right. There we go, some highlights. Let's fix that. Let's do this way. There we go. Letter Z. All right, so let's put the white line, outline around this dude. Use a non-tapering brush, 20-point size, in white. Draw around. Here we go. Now it's starting to look like something. Starting to? It's finishing to. Is that a word? It's finishing to look like something. I've done this white line around all of them to make them look like stickers. Sometimes I get ahead of myself here and I start drawing too quick. Because the white lines don't have to be even, but they have to be, you know, clean. Anyways, draw them like stickers. That way, when I go to make them into stickers, they look like what you see on the screen. So, letter Z, letter Z. Let's go through all of these here for just one moment. Letter A, B, C, D. Now, the thing that we noticed as we went through these letters, or as some of my viewers noticed, was that there was a witch missing, there was a mummy missing, there was a spider, but only like just the edge of a spider, and that didn't seem to really satisfy everybody. So we went back in and did that today. Where are we here? Oh, here he is. There's that little spider. No clown yet until now, and that was it. So I feel like I've sort of represented everything. Sorry, just sort of cram everything into the last letter, but the last letter should be sort of like a celebration. Just like this W is a celebration because Skeleton Dance is one of my favorite cartoons. This guy just turned out cool. Never drawn a werewolf before. I'm happy with him. Funniest zombie I've probably ever drawn. You know, maybe he reminds me of, like, there was an app that you can get on your phone called Zombies versus something. I think like plants or something. You had a garden. Did you garden or did you zombie? Anyways, you're one of the teams and you had to do the other. Didn't really play it, but it looked cute. And this guy kind of looks like maybe from that. And now we have the letter Z. Compilation of all the characters that I missed. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go over to my compilation of letters. I'm going to paste them in. Where are we here? Paste layer. There we go. Well, that gives you something to look at. That's for sure. I like to move these guys around just a little bit so they're a little more lined up. Let's just be careful where we do that. Add the X here. Move them over. Maybe not quite that much. Whoops. And then the Z, the Z, the Zumba. There we go. Well, these were just here for me to look at, these grid lines. We don't need them on. Just kind of help me place them. Oh, do you see this letter T? You know, while we're at it, before I go, I'm going to grab that letter T again. Because I had fixed him, but I hadn't apparently dropped him in yet. Yeah, see, he's got eyes. Let me copy that. Go back. Can't believe I did that. It's alright, it happens. Paste that layer in. There we go. Drop them in front of the old T. See, look, 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 look. Eyes, no eyes. Get rid of the one with no eyes. Delete. One with eyes. There we go. He just stands out a little bit better, doesn't he? And the letter Z. Sweet. Well, I'm quite happy with that. Thanks for joining me. And even if you're watching this after it's done, thank you for coming by and having a look with me and playing along. And yeah, thanks for helping out. Thanks for any comments. And I think I might sign out here. I think we're pretty happy with this. And yeah, all right. Sneak peek, if anybody wants to see. Coloring page coming up soon. Crazy coloring book. What is it of? I have no idea. But each page is going to be seriously detailed in my cartoony sort of style way that I detail things. Another one that's coming up. No rush on this one, believe me. We've got this thing coming up. This one's a lot more work. This is all based on random prompts. And these random prompts, I can turn on my random prompt list. Whoops, there it is. I have 100 prompts here. And, excuse me. So 100 prompts here, and each day is going to be a random prompt. And you're not going to see this again until it comes out, but each of these is based on that. And it's just going to be a whole picture. And yeah, it's quite detailed. Like, you can get right in here, and there's a gigantic robot being worked on by little robots. The same little robots that are here doing something nefarious. And these poor people who are unsuspecting. And what is this thing? And these guys, what are they doing? And why does this guy look nervous? And what's happening below his shop? The things we're going to find out together. Other things. Oh, not for a long time. This is just sort of a fun thing. I think I'm going to draw a dinosaur book someday. And so I just did this as a quick test, and the way I made this, whoops, let's show you. The way I made this was, I don't know if you can see that, but I took, I wanted to do my own artistic interpretation of dinosaurs in an old school dinosaur fashion, but using modern anatomy. So what I did is I took a modern assembly of a dinosaur fossil skeleton, and I drew around it. And that's how I got this. And it's going to be for younger kids, so you can see that it's very basic. But it's graphic. It's graphic, and I love graphic imagery. And these are commissions. You can ignore those. Another concept I have, Grin and Pip, a little story, also based on random prompts. And each square is completely random. And so I don't know what the next square is going to be, but I'll just come up with a story as I go. And it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see unfold, hopefully. Anyways, tons of things to look at in the future. But for now, that's it for me. That's my desktop that you're looking at, that Ninja, and he's actually literally my desk. Let's get Inception here. This is my desk. This is my desktop. Cool? Or what? All right. I'm going to sign out if I know how to do that. I do know how to do that. Give me a second. Thank you very much. Talk to you later. Enjoy. Maybe I don't know how to turn this off. Stop streaming.